Did you keep these like in your car or something?
Yeah, just last night.
Oh,
Geez, you're just like my brother.
Paint.
I brought a cake for dinner. This thing's been in my truck for
It's
like a week.
trail mix.
It wasn't an ice cream
What's
cake,
wrong with
but
cold
now
nuts
it
in your
is.
mouth, Rod?
Well, you gotta warm these things up first.
is that a
You gotta-
necrophilia thing? It's Blood Feud with a sheep. Is it
Are you
true it's a
writing us
10-day
on-
calendar,
He's
10-day
already
week?
got it, I feel like.
Is it actually a 10-day week?
if you do have it somewhere.
How many days in a year?
Remember you guys asked me to make
12.
a...
But they're very long days.
Hold on.
No, that'd be extra confusing. That if the week is 10 days and the year is 12 days.
So
So
how
that
many weeks
means
has it been? A year?
so that means New Year is always on like 2 days into the next week, but it's always shifting. So it's like, oh fuck, what day is it? Is today New Year's? No, that's tomorrow. God damn it.
We're in the year 2947. Not even the future, really.
Hail and well met. I'm Scott, and I'll be your gamekeeper.
My name is Rod, and I play Alacordia, a human rogue.
My name's Clark, and I play Losion, the half-elf cleric.
Hi, I'm Steven, and I play Shun. He's the small little guy that does ninja shit.
Who wants to recap us?
We solved your puzzle, okay? We type in your shitty password.
And there's a shield. And upon the shield, there are 3 pictures, each occupying a third of the shield. Raven, Black Panther, and one is of a coin.
I touch my holy symbol and go, may your strength shelter me. And his eyes kind of roll back and he goes, as it shelters the dead.
Somewhere in the background, a bell rings.
I slowly step back towards the door.
Guys, what's going on down there?
The guards start chasing you,
To the ladder, as fast as you can.
and off into the night you doth go. You have successfully stolen this shield.
But he does know that something happened. There's something about this shield and something about the panther and something about the crow.
For there is no longer a crow, and there's no longer a panther, and there's no longer a coin. And while the 3 of you weren't looking, the images have disappeared.
Yeah, okay, Losion snaps out of his meditation and goes,
Visibly all around you, the 3 of you see this. Dark necrotic energies from the air starts to coalesce on your body. Shun, how do you respond to words that he didn't say out loud but you heard in your mind?
you heard me. You heard my thoughts.
I don't know, I definitely heard you say it.
Alacordia, you have somehow become more precise in your ability to target enemies' weak points. And then the door slams open, and it is the mysterious benefactor. He takes one look at the shield, and he goes,
Did any of you dickbags perform any rituals when you were handling this thing? I know more about you than you know about me. The only thing you need to know about me is that you owe me an irreplaceable debt. So congratulations, the 3 of you work for me now.
What? No, that's
Sorry,
not.
what? No, this
I
was-
work for the Denny Sabur, and that.
You said we got you the shield and we were good.
You get to clear your debt when you don't rob me of a priceless artifact's power. You start on Monday.
he leaves, and then 2 guards throw a black bag in the room, and it's wrapped in tarp.
Losion kneels down and pulls back the tarp to see the face.
Jean DeFranco, throat slit.
Oh, this isn't very good at all. For Alacordia's thing, because there's the 3 symbols: the crow.
And the panther and the coin.
Oh, yeah. Well, it worked. I liked it. So, this is a big thing to Alacordia.
Oh, Cordy, I'm so sorry.
Well, no, since
That was like your dad, wasn't it?
no. Oh my god, I'm gonna kill you.
I forgot how much I love this role. I thought it was Steven, and then, oh, you got me.
I hate you.
Losion's like, they killed him. Why did they have to kill him?
This is whoever did this. They're like declaring war on the Denny Sabur.
What if they kill my dad next?
Who the fuck cares about you?
But they could kill him too.
I'm
here.
I do.
Little Grip, that's right. You've been here all along.
Well, I'm really short, so I can see how you miss me.
I saw you.
Thank you. I see you. He holds his hand out.
Tiny boy, little boy, baby boy, I need you. Tiny boy.
As they break out into song.
Lotion goes, why would they kill a man needlessly? There's no meaning to this. This really hurts me.
This is outrageous. I have to talk to LaMarche.
Guys, who?
LaMarche, he's the quartermaster for the Denis Sabourin. He's third top from the gang.
The quartermaster. What? Why do you guys have a master of quarters?
Well, because he basically looks after everything. He looks over the managerial aspects of the
So
Denis Sabourin.
he's your dad. That's not your... Oh, that's... I mean, I'm still sorry for your loss. Like, your dad looks after everything, right?
Yep. No. And you're empathic? You're feeling some exceptional anger coming off of her right now regarding her father.
No.
Like, exceptional. I don't have a father. Never talk to me about him again. Got it?
They ask you how you are, you just have to say that you're fine when you're not really fine, but you just can't get into it because they would never understand.
We're really gonna blast through all four this afternoon. Okay, wait, because on another side note here, change the subject because it's a little uncomfortable all of a sudden. I don't know who caused that.
It's me.
What did he say that we have magic now? Like what? From the shield?
Lotion.
Yeah, I understand the magic. I feel magic coursing through me now. I feel like I'm now a level 1 cleric.
Me too. And he throws a knife and nothing happens, and he just goes, oh.
Yeah, like the knife stops in midair. Oh, that's not supposed to happen.
It kind of just like dinks off the wall and falls to the ground, and he just like keeps picking it up and trying it down. All four of us got magic.
Like I don't really feel all that different, And like you guys look at Shun, you realize like he's not moving his lips at all.
Did you just talk without moving your lips?
What?
Telepathic.
Oh my god.
He can speak to. For this, it's imagine he's talking to all of you, but
Professor X here.
in terms of actions, he can now speak to a single creature within 30 feet telepathically.
You can see like Grips in the corner, and he seems just like he's got his arms crossed, and he looks all sour, and he goes, I don't get why you three have cool powers and I don't. What's so special about you three?
Feels like a major plot point or something. I don't know.
I know. It's like I'm hinting at that or something.
I mean, are the symbols still on the shield or are they gone now?
They gone,
They
baby.
Gone, yeah.
The symbols on the shield, I mean, the panther means something to me. Is there a higher power?
Panther. What does a panther have to do with this?
I don't, well, part of my backstory. My mysterious backstory. I don't fully know, but it has a strange significance to me that I can't quite put my finger on just yet, but I hope to get to the bottom of the mystery.
Well, the only thing you've gotten to the bottom of is mug.
Oh, and several bottles this morning. Well, before we do anything, I feel like I can cast magic. Meta, he's definitely a young adult. Does
Yeah,
she
I'm
count
16.
as a young adult? She's 18?
He's 18, yeah.
They're both young adults?
Oh yeah. Don't do it.
What?
Do not cast ceremony.
I am casting ceremony, but I'm not marrying them. They are not being wedded. I can
will
only do this to one of them.
punch you out.
I'll do it to here. Someone say odds or evens.
Evens.
Steven gets it first.
Haha, Steven always gets it first.
Rituals don't cost a spell slot if you take an hour to do it, right? Can we say we do an hour to do this?
Yep, you can do a ritual casting.
All right.
In that hour, Alacordia will leave.
Why don't you just have a drink for an hour and then we'll all go somewhere together?
I don't drink.
Learn the ritual.
Why would I want to learn a ritual?
All right, fine. If you want to leave, you leave, or you just sit tight and watch for a bit.
Tell you what. You can find me at the Gand family tower.
The Gand family.
I know you're not from here, but you can ask the bartender at front. They'll
I'm-
point you in the direction.
I'm from Kronos, aren't I?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
You'd be familiar.
Clark's
Like
not.
you wouldn't be familiar with the inner workings of the Gun Family Tower, but you would know it's the seat of the crime syndicate, basically.
All right, we'll
The
be
unofficial
there.
head of government.
We'll be there in an hour, I guess. Magics, waving my hands,
Alacordia leaves as Logan starts drunkenly casting magic.
and I sit down and I concentrate on a ritual for a while, and I cast ceremony on young Shun, in particular the coming of age. You touch one humanoid who is a young adult, and for the next 24 hours, anytime you make an ability check, you can roll a d4 and add it to the top, and you only get to benefit from this one. So any ability check, put a d4 on it.
Just once.
Put a bird on
No,
it.
this is not guidance. This is a ritual. It lasts for 24 hours.
Okay.
It's different from guidance. Guidance is for 1 minute and only one check.
Okay, so
Any check. Any check.
the next 24 hours, every ability check I do.
Yes.
Okay.
Put a bird on it.
You feel all grown up first time, and then since you left home, you know,
Putting on his big boy
like an
pants.
adult out there, doing some murders, stealing some stuff, like adults should. As you're doing that, we cut to the Gan family tower, where you make your way to go see the quartermaster.
La Marche.
You can come and go from the tower as you see fit. So you kind of head right in. There is less people about than normal because of the hour of the evening, so it's kind of mostly sparse, empty hallways. From time to time, you'll see a servant or another gang member kind of enter into a hallway, and they'll see you, and they'll kind of quickly scuttle out of the way, which isn't uncommon. That's kind of how things operate in a den of secrets and thievery.
Mm-hmm.
And you make your way to the quartermaster's room, where sure enough, what's quartermaster's name again?
La Marche.
Thank you. He's there, and you can see he's just behind a desk. But one of those standing desks. What are they called? A counter. Thank you, Clark. And he's just going.
I didn't say anything. I got a mouthful of nuts.
Yeah, but that's all I
Mouthful
need.
of Stevens.
Sometimes
nuts.
that's all you need. And he's just going over a ledger, and he's kind of checking things, and he's moving pieces from boxes, like he's unpacking maybe something that's recently been acquired or stolen. Or
Right. So Alacordia walks up. Quartermaster La Marche, I need to talk to you.
what is it, my child?
John DeFranco's been murdered.
John DeFranco's been murdered.
Yes, that's right. John DeFranco's been murdered.
No.
Sorry, I'm just making sure I heard you right. You said he's been murdered?
I'm done. My finger's
Sorry,
tired.
that one was A.
He does give you like the squirrel look where he looks up at you and he goes, "What?"
It was for a job that we had done. Some mysterious benefactor had hired, been contracted, or DeFranco was contracted through him, and we completed the job, and then he said that we had stolen, and apparently I work for him now, and now he's dead.
He stays calm and he just goes, No. Gentle child. And he goes to the thing and he pulls a ledger off and he starts flipping through it and he says, let's see. And it's just clearly like a list of, they keep track of who goes to where and what jobs and who hires whom. And he takes his ledger out and he goes, that's odd. There's no job listed here.
What?
Who initiated it?
I don't know, but I was contacted by DeFranco, and he told me that to go to the Eel's Foot Tavern and await for instructions.
Oh, that can't be right. Every job is listed here. It's categorically referenced by myself, none other. If he was hiring you for a role with Denise Moore, it would be in my documents here.
Well, why would I be hired outside of the role of the Sabur? Like, this is unheard of. This is outside of the rules. Now apparently I work for this other guy. I don't even know his name.
Oh, I mean, you're not allowed to work for anyone else. Your contract is very good.
I'm as she sort of, one of the pouches on her hip, she sort of like grabs it. She's like, yeah, I know. I'm well over that.
Well, I can look into this. I can ask around. You said I should. Oh no, he's dead. Let me go send someone to speak at his warehouse, and we'll get to the bottom of this as soon as we can.
So, what should I do in the meantime? Do I figure out? Do you think this might be a new gang starting in Cornus?
Why don't you wait here a moment? And he leaves the room. And 10 minutes pass.
Crickets.
And 20 minutes pass. And 30.
It's
And
just
finally,
like
it's
it's just like a cutscene of her like standing there, and then she's like cleaning her nails, and then she's rolling dice with like a rat.
The rat's winning.
The rat's winning. He's like, dang it! I'll get you on your shoulder next time.
Just with its tail, it takes all of the... And he comes back finally an hour later. And he says, I have done some appropriate questioning. I've looked into this matter further. And you will leave. You are instructed to leave the tower and take the east exit. You understand?
Am I allowed? I don't understand. Am I allowed back?
Oh, yes, of course. But for the moment, you will leave the tower via the east exit and walk alone.
For the listeners at home, Scott is eyeing me,
Staring as though he's trying to insinuate something, perhaps.
My anus is bleeding.
The tacos.
Okay. East exit. Understood. Thank you, LaMarche. And he
goes right back to his notebook.
And she turns around and leaves and heads towards the east exit.
As you are walking down the road, a carriage starts to approach in the distance. Single driver, shades are drawn, and it just pulls up alongside you in some back alley where there's no one around. On the door.
Hello? What do you want?
The door wide open.
No. Flirting with danger. And not with Shun. She goes inside the carriage.
And it's Shun. No.
Oh, God damn it!
There's a single seat on the side that faces forward, and another that faces back, and a figure draped in shadow, with his face partially covered by like almost a transparent veil, but enough to like obscure. You hear a familiar voice. A voice. You can hear there's a ruthless edge to it, but at the same time, it's soft-spoken and kind. And it says, I wouldn't touch those curtains if I was you, girl. And it's the familiar voice of Ulfi Rosach. If I'm pronouncing that right. I've only ever read it.
Yeah, Ulfi Rosach.
Yeah.
Oh, yes. And she stops, and she just sits there and eyes down.
As the leader of the Denisabor gang sits across from you, partially obscured. Comings and goings from the tower, very, very secretive. And he says, I don't like to make a habit of having to come speak to people below my station.
I know that. I'm sorry.
I also don't like to make a habit of declaring open war on New Kingdoms.
New Kingdoms?
Let me ask you a serious question. And I want an answer.
Yeah?
You've recently overthrown the government. You and several other powerful merchants set up a merchants' republic. And you send representatives out as a show of force and to establish relations. And that representative is kidnapped, tied up, and left in a warehouse. How do you think those ambassadors react?
Oh, probably very poorly.
He just stares at you. Like, you know what he's said. He knows what you've done. There's no need to...
Oh, 100%. Yeah, very poorly. She is quaking in fear.
I've been asking questions. Because I have dead men. And the last time I had dead men, I told you it would be the cost of your life if it was found to be at your fault. And when I ask around at the warehouse, do you know what the men tell me? That a young female rogue with a purple face covering and a black gloved hand came in and kidnapped a man who is now dead. Can you explain this to me?
No, we didn't kidnap anyone, but DeFranco asked us to do a job to steal something from Harbuckle's mansion, and we thought it was I thought it was legit. I thought it was I'll run through here. We didn't take him at all. No,
He holds a hand up just to silence you immediately. There's a new piece moving on this board, and I don't like unaccounted for variables. I want you to take care of it. And you know very well, I don't mean kill him. Find out who this person is and what they want, and find a way to make it so that he can be my thrall.
Yes. It's supposed to work for him. Now, should I just how do
He
I
just opens the door and he goes, I don't care how you do it. Get it done.
Yes, sir.
The carriage leaves, and you're just standing alone in an alleyway in the middle of the night.
She is visibly shaken, and will sort of compose herself, take a few deep breaths, and she's got a purpose now. So she'll, I guess, head back towards the inn.
Can we say that we're headed towards the tower and we bump into her just as she's getting out of the just after she got out of the carriage?
Yeah, I'd say about 2-3 minutes after she gets out of the carriage. You're walking along and you see her walking by, and she's, I would imagine, so shaken she doesn't even notice you.
Yeah.
Fair.
I'll say Lojan sobered up a little bit, and he's patting Wee Shun on the shoulder. He says, "Now you'll be a bit more of a coming of age for the next 24 hours." And I go, "Oh, Alacordia, oh lovely. We were trying to find you. My God, girl, do you feel okay? You look like you've seen a ghost."
Not necessarily a ghost. And anyway, it's fine. You know, I know what we have to do. I know what we'll do.
You okay, Steven?
Every part of Steven wants to be like, was it your dad? But no.
Lojan looks at you.
I don't want to start the PvP so soon.
So Lojan says, "Well, do you want to go back to the inn, lady? Young lady? Are you feeling okay? Should we?"
Yes. Maybe I'll take you up on that drink that you offered.
Oh, certainly. And I just throw my wine bag in your mouth.
You know,
squeezing it like bellows.
You open your coat and it's like bottle.
We get back to the inn, and I'm assuming Alcordia fills us in on what happened in the carriage. So Meta, that's
the leader of the Denise Sabor.
okay, and he wants Alacordia to
figure out who this mysterious benefactor is now.
All right. Now, does Alacordia tell us that?
Yes.
Okay.
She won't tell you that she met with Fleury Rosak, because that's a very kind of private thing.
Okay.
Just that the Denny Sabor now want to figure out who this person is. Because if you've been living in Kornos, you know that the Kornos is run by mainly the Denny Sabor, but there are also 3 other gangs: the Wolves of E2, the Sanguine Banner, and the Grim Syndicate.
Okay.
And they're all kind of vying for power.
The Grim Syndicate, that sounds like a DC, like, Suicide Squad.
Kind of does, yeah.
Actually, one say, yeah. But yeah, you know that these gangs have been kind of vying for power, for a while. How old is Lojan?
Lojan? He's like late 40s. So for a half elf, he looks like he's 30.
Okay, so he would know if he's been living in Cornus this whole time that the Denny Sabur came into power about 20 years ago, and they have had like there's been like minor gang skirmishes and gang fights in the streets, but mainly the Denny Sabur have like taken them down, and that there's been a uneasy peace basically with the rest of the gangs for the last 4 years, and there hasn't been any like major gang interactions. They all do like their own trade and commerce and stuff like that, but the Sabur take basically like a tithe or a tribute from them like every year.
Denny Subor, our top dog, if you will.
Yep.
And that's why they want us to take out, or at least find out who this mysterious benefactor is. Kevin Spacey character. Okay. Well, how do we find out who this guy is? I mean, all we know is what he looks like.
Well, like we know what he wants. Like he wants us to get him another artifact, like the shield.
You found Alcordia notes regarding the excavation site where the artifact came from.
right.
You have been hired
It was
by
crushed.
the mysterious half-drow benefactor to do a job, so presumably you could maybe get to know him a little better by doing the stuff that he wants. You had heard mysterious, deep, resonant church bells coming from far outside
Yes.
town.
Yeah. Lojan does want to go check that out before we get to...
Now, was that only Lotion that hears that?
Good question. Does anyone else hear it?
You never brought it up in the moment to clarify with anyone else. So Lojan heard it, and he felt it, and he kind of just shuddered and moved on.
Yeah.
We're unsure. And it's difficult hours later to be like, hey, did you guys hear?
Yeah, that's a good point. So Lojan would say, well, when we were on the boat, and when we were at the party, twice now in the past 2 days, I've heard a church bell toll. And I mean, I know the area well enough to know that there's no church from where it came from, but there is cemetery. I would like to go check that out. I would like to inspect this bell. It may have some significance to me of some sort. If you guys want to come with, please do. But if you wish to stay, I don't blame you.
I mean, like it's just a graveyard. There's nothing like.
Yeah, it's not like the dead come up and run. Oh wait,
To the graveyard. How long does it take us to get to the graveyard? Do we need horses?
It's about an hour outside town.
Just walk?
You can walk.
Okay.
You make your way outside town, and you find this little graveyard that is just in a slightly lower area than the rest of the environs around, and because of the air coming up off of the lake upon which Kronos sits, a heavy kind of mist fog almost falls over this small little valley. As you come up, you see a simple graveyard, those metal spiky fences,
Wrought iron
a
fence?
wrought iron fence and gate.
I thought you said rod iron. I'm like, yeah.
There's a
Well, dick.
There's a small grave digger's hut, but it looks abandoned to time and kind of semi-dilapidated in front. And there is, at one point, there was a cathedral, but now it seems to have fallen to ruin.
Is there a bell nearby?
There looks like there was, at one point, a bell tower, but it has collapsed. It's fallen onto the ground. If you can see, I've pulled a map up for the players. There are several grave sites. There's kind of mausoleum-style tombs without the actual mausoleum around it, just the stone plinth. Thank you, sarcophagi. There's a collapsed chapel, and there is a collapsed statue in the middle of the cemetery.
How could the sound of the bell come from here if the bell's broken and on the ground?
Maybe it just broke recently. Maybe
Was
the
there any
wind
s-
knocked it down?
Was there any strong storms in the past
This is a
48
really,
hours?
this is a really cheery place that you brought us to, the ocean.
It's a graveyard. What do you
I
expect?
do find it oddly calming, to be quite honest with you. But before we step in, I put my hands out and stop them. I go, but wait. And I close my eyes. And it goes, "Ee," and I'm like, oh, sense in the air. And I get to do this how many times a day? Can sense undead. As an action, I use my eyes. I can do this 3 times per long rest to know the location of undead within 60 feet if they are not hidden or protected by divination. It is kind of weird. I mean, it's as if they're not in full cover, so I'm not. That's very, very weak at this. Like, so if they're in a coffin, I'm technically not to be able to sense them, which is weird.
We're gonna roll with it. You close your eyes and you kind of find your center, and you hold your spirit out to the environments around you, and you feel nothing but an energy or a presence from that statue in the center of the graveyard. Not undeath, just like a thrum of energy.
Magic energy. Lotion goes, does anyone sense anything odd about that statue? What is that statue? I begin to approach it.
The statue's collapsed, so you can't tell from far away, and it's like a little bit overgrown with roots and vines and shoots and branches.
Does anyone else sense anything about this statue? Does anyone know? It just seems so obvious to me, and I start walking towards it.
Only that this place is terrible, and it's just kind of... I don't know. I don't like this here.
The visage upon the statue that would tell you its church, its dogma, is covered over in moss.
I touch the statue. I inspect the statue.
You just like hold a hand out and you go, and you just like touch it, or you like clean the moss off?
I clean the moss off.
When you clean the moss off, you find a symbol of 2 hands, but it's cracked down the middle, and the 2 hands are separate. So it's a cracked, broken symbol of Ilmater.
Oh. A broken, cracked symbol of Ilmater.
Logan looks at the sky and goes, a little heavy-handed with the...
God, I turn and I look at Shun and Alicord and I go, well, I'm sure you guys have noticed, but I've been having a bit of... My relationship with Ilmater has been damaged quite a bit in the past few months.
Was it from your drinking problem?
The drinking problem came after.
Serious.
Well, I wouldn't call it a problem. I think I can control it whenever the hell I want.
I mean, you
Thank very
drink amazingly well, but I mean, I
have a
think
drink-
it's an issue.
You have a drink in your hand right now.
Logan's drinking, actually. I wouldn't say it's a problem.
I'm like flourishing like a bartender, like flipping the bottle around and like into my mouth.
It's like the next scene, he's got like a giant pineapple with...
Just a coconut. You put it through the coconut hole.
And then I turn back again, and he's got like a foam dome on, with like a number 1 thing. It's like, no, it's not a problem.
I don't know. The drinking came after there was a major incident a few months ago that I'm not comfortable talking about just yet. So, but this seems odd to me that it's almost like there's signs telling me that I should not be a cleric of Ilmater anymore, and I've been following these signs, and that's where the panther kind of comes in. I'm not sure what the panther means, but it has something. It's guiding me, and I have to follow where it's guiding me. I have to sense things, coincidences, weird things. Is there anything else in this cemetery?
Make an investigation check for
Okay,
me, please.
investigation.
Ooh, nice.
Investigation. All right. But Lojan does kneel, and he prays real quick, and he says something, and his voice drops a little bit more so than usual, and he goes, grant me the whiff. Fuck.
The whip.
Grant me the width and the length.
Give me a sniff.
Grant me the gift of your wisdom, so I may be your messenger today. And here's a hint. That's not an Ilmater prayer. He doesn't know where that comes from. So he just cast guidance on himself for that investigation. 16.
Alicord is also going to wander around and just like kind of do like that, like walking up to the church and stuff and kind of passively investigating, I guess.
Do it up.
Shun's gonna wander over into the mausoleum.
There's no mausoleum. Sorry,
You said
I was
there's a mausoleum.
I was describing the things in mausoleums, but the mausoleum outside, and then Rod said sarcophagus, and I went, yes, that's the word, sarcophagus. So I can see the confusion.
Shun does not go to the non-existent mausoleum. Fine.
There's a busted church.
He'd go into the church.
Alcordia, you can tell this church collapsed years ago. Years and years. The wood is rotted and fallen on the ground and like has insects actively living in it. You find a family of badgers.
I'm glad I don't have to.
They're not ferrets.
All the ferrets in this region have been mysteriously gathered up.
They're gone. Who knew?
There was
Um,
only 10 of them.
Lojan,
11,
also
actually.
investigating, you find a bell, but it's cracked and broken, and the thing is missing. The bell thing.
The striker?
The dong doodle. The striker.
I think it's called the dong doodle.
I think it's a dong doodle.
The bell's dong doodle is missing.
The dong doodle is missing. Oh, it really takes the gravitas down, doesn't it?
I go, my God, Alacordia, Shun, the dong doodle is missing. It's impossible for it to have made this noise. But I know I heard it.
I don't remember hearing anything. This is super weird.
How did you pinpoint it to here from like the middle of the city? Like a little far-fetched, I think.
When we were on the open water, I could hear it, and it was quite clearly coming from here. I know that this bell, and there is enough significance in the meaning of this that I know it came from here.
Well, I'm gonna go head into this rundown church. Maybe the dong doodle's in there. And Shun goes into the church.
As he goes, don't forget to add that D4 to your ability
Yeah.
check.
And he also, because this kind of comes into his backstory, he's looking around a little bit for stuff.
Alacordia would just pick up a rock and whip it at the bell.
We're going to resolve this in order.
Yeah, I know. I just wanted to put it out there.
Because I like that. Shouldn't you enter? Give me 2 things. One, let's call it a dexterity check to see how well you navigate around the partially dilapidated, collapsing building.
2, a prostate check, just to make sure that you don't have problems.
Is it flat decks or? Right. So that is 9. And what's the second thing?
Did you roll your d4?
Yes.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
Um,
He slips and falls right on the dong doodle.
Found it! Now I'm the bell.
I got the dong doodle was inside me all along.
I've got an innie. It should be an outie.
You're walking through the church, and you see in this chapel, the altar at the very far end. No door is accessible to there, so you have to go through the whole thing to get there. And like a bunch of broken, stained glass. It looks really cool and like rustic. And you're like, oh wow, that looks really. And then the floor gives out underneath you. Make a dexterity saving throw, please.
I don't get the D4 to this, right?
Just checks.
Can I roll above 5? 9.
You see this stained glass, and it looks super cool. And you can see like a chalice that would have been used for service purposes on the table. And you kind of like, your eyes zero in and you focus and you take a step forward, and the entire plank just underneath you. And you realize that one main board was supporting several other very broken, loose, weak boards. And you right down into the sub-basement. And in the sub-basement, there is one singular sarcophagus. Pause. Alacordia.
I don't like where this is going.
I do.
Oh no.
Yeah, Alacordia picks up a good fist-sized stone and
For the audience, my fingers are crossed. Nothing happened. Nothing happened. Nothing happened.
record scratch. Something was about to happen.
Ron Howard voice.
Yeah.
It did.
Yeah, she picks up a fist-sized stone and throws it at this bell.
Okay. You hear this dolorous calm as the sound carries out over the graveyard. Lojan, you're still kind of looking around. You're examining the statue.
Lojan's
Lojan,
head's
what-
in the bell looking inside. See him?
Lojan, did it sound like that?
Your head starts to hurt, to throb, and like the tiniest trickle of blood starts coming from your nose. The wound! As
That was a Monty Python reference for you listeners at home, and Rod loved it.
As you hear a voice, and it starts as a slow whisper.
Huh? Who said that? Alcordy, did you just speak? Did you just speak?
No, I didn't.
Did you hear anything? Did you just hear a voice?
I just heard the bell.
And faintly in the back,
A
you
crash.
don't hear a crash as Shun goes through the floor because this bell just went off in the middle of the graveyard.
Did Shun cry out? I just heard a voice. I know what? Who said that?
I don't know. I think you should lay off your drinking, old man.
I'm sober.
Maybe you should lay on the drinking, old man. and just like that, the feeling goes away briefly.
Hit the bell again.
Oh, okay. So she picks up another rock and whips it.
You're expecting like on cue, and you're like, huh, nothing happens. And then we cut to Shun.
Okay.
And all Shun hears is stone on stone. And then you get a feeling.
Oh, okay.
A very bad feeling.
I've got a feeling deep inside.
The desecration of undeath hangs heavy in the air.
Lotion's eyes go wide and he goes, there's undead in this cemetery.
What?
Ready yourselves. Shun, where's Shun? What happened to Shun?
I don't know. Why is there all that dust coming out of the front door of the church?
Quick, we should go help Shun.
Could I make a perception check? As this undead comes out of the sarcophagus, I'm assuming to see like anything special about.
Wait,
I'm gonna bolt the fuck out of there, but
Well,
just
wait.
like a quick.
how much light is down there?
It's dark.
Yeah, I don't have dark vision.
So you just hear it. That's all you hear.
I mean, you can see like the hole,
You said I can see the sarcophagus, so I'm assuming like I can kind of see it, but like it's
the single
dark.
beam of light is on the sarcophagus.
Just like
Just enough for you to know it's there, but not enough to know what's going on.
Okay.
Conveniently.
Just like the mines of Moria.
Yeah.
In which case, I would like to make an acrobatics check. I'm going to use my chain sickle to
Jedi
try and get out of there.
You trying to climb up?
That's a really good idea.
Athletics, by the way.
Yes.
I can use acrobatics because I'm a monk.
Oh, can you?
Yeah,
Well,
we kind of talked about
la-di-da.
that a bit.
This is a fantastic idea. The floorboards are kind of rotting around you, so it's going to be, we'll call it difficult. I don't think for you 20 is an unreasonable number.
With my rolls, hey, 21.
And you pull yourself up using your chain scythe, and the whatever board you managed to get it into kind of holds fast as you pull your way up. And you kind of hear, hey, why don't you make a perception check for me?
15.
You just hear the sound of stone smashing against the ground. Like a large stone slab fell.
Hey guys, I don't think that person was dead yet.
What? Who are you talking about?
I'm not dead yet.
And Shun,
feel happy.
Someone let me out of this basement. Oh.
Shun takes another look at that chalice that was up on the altar.
Oh, it's tempting.
Yes, I would like to make a move to grab it and like toss it in a pouch. How big is it roughly? Like big enough that I could toss it in like backpack kind of thing? Yeah, okay, yeah.
I held up a coffee cup.
It's a mug of cum.
Shun dumps it out first.
Oh, right. That was the wrong one. I was like, what's D again? Sorry, continue. Mug of cum.
We've broken Scott.
No, I'm just...
What's my roll to
it's-
make it?
Yeah, I don't know if it's fair to make you do the dex thing twice. Like, making you do the same check twice. But you're also trying to do the same thing again. So it feels like maybe the same
I
check,
mean,
no?
I wasn't necessarily going for it before. That was just from walking in the church.
Yeah, the dexterity was you navigating in a dilapidated building. Like, you know things are rotting around you. You're walking carefully. I'd say we're going to lower the DC because now you are being very cautious about where you're going. So we'll call it a DC 15 dexterity saving throw.
All right.
Not a save, just a check.
Are there any rafters in this church?
Yes, rotting boards on a
Yes.
collapsed building.
Yes.
That number, Steven.
Tis a 15.
Was a 15.
The
That's
number you
Stephen
need.
Road.
You very carefully, by getting your chain scythe on board and kind of slowly navigating and using it to like share your weight between rotted boards. You get the chalice, you put it in your backpack. So we cut back to Alacordia. Are you still whipping stones at the
No, at the time where Lotion went,
It just gets stronger every time.
where Lotion went, there's undead here. He was like, what? Pulls out a knife and, well, actually, no, pulls out a rapier. And it's like, what do you mean? What do you mean undead?
I can sense them within 60 feet of me. I can do this 3 times a day.
Yeah, you feel like multiple presences. And like,
They're everywhere.
you know when it like you're watching a movie on TV and like something pops up on a map and then another and then another and then another. All around you, you feel increasingly the presence increasing. And you think Alacordia said something to you. But all you hear is, I died in a gutter.
Lotion goes very pale. And he gets goosebumps. But not like the cool goosebumps. Like the
Like R.L. Stein.
Are you afraid of the dark?
like the shudder up your spine goosebumps. So Lotion goes, oh, who are you? I know you're not my father. He's not buried here. I know that. You cannot fool me, you abominations. How dare you even try to pretend to be my deceased father, you monster. Feel my wrath.
Give me a
And-
religion check. I'd say with advantage.
23.
You feel a couple things. You hear all around you just soft, mocking laughter coming from many, many places all at once. And Alacordia, you hear this too. Just from inside the sarcophagi, you hear.
So yeah, I guess with like hearing all this stuff and hearing Lotion being like, "You're not my father," I'll be like, I think Lotion's taking the cuckoo bus to Conky Town. Shun, where are you? We have to go.
I'm just over. I'm just coming.
Are you drunk?
I'm just coming. There's someone downstairs. I don't know. Like they came out of the sarcophagus. I don't know
What
what's
the
up
fuck
with
do you mean
that.
somebody's downstairs?
I don't know. Somebody's in the basement of the church.
You feel two things.
I didn't see them.
Laughter and a strange comfort from the gravedigger's hut.
Gravedigger's house?
Yep, the dilapidated one outside the bounds of the cemetery.
Oh.
One might even call it 200 feet away.
Oh,
Can we see Shun? Is he getting out of the cathedral now?
I'd say he's still inside the cathedral.
He's still-
He took the extra turn
I
to
say-
put it in his
I say,
backpack.
Shun, my boy, get out of there as quickly as possible. Come out into the daylight where it's safe.
Yeah.
Safety by numbers. But then I look over my shoulder and I look at the grave digger's house. You said, right? I go, but I think we need to go check out that house next. I sense something.
yeah, I sense it too. There's a bunch of fucking laughter coming from all these sarcophagi.
Oh yeah, I mean we gotta get the fuck out of here. And Lojan says, with haste. And well, we should wait for young Shun. Shun, hurry up.
Come in.
Stop jacking it.
Tiny boy, little boy, baby boy, I need you.
It's the first time he's been alone in a few days, so he's just in there just.
Gotta fill up that mug somehow. Yeah.
We're not doing combat, but let's roll initiative and see what order things go down.
14.
Also 14.
Or
Imagine I have the higher dex than you.
Probably.
I have a one.
I have an initiative of 0 and a dex of 0. So
So, for the purposes of this, the two of you
you have a
act-
dex of 0?
yes,
Well,
I am
dex
not a very
mod.
physical
Oh,
person.
you're mod.
Oh no!
It's like,
Yes.
oh, wait.
Logan, you haven't noticed he's been being pushed around in a wheelchair this whole time? He's paralyzed. He can't move.
That would be a negative. Would that be like a -4?
He's got one of those wheelchairs that's just operated by the stick in your mouth thing.
-5. I have a -5 to dexterity.
Good lord.
Clark and Steven will act, then me, then Rod. What would you like to do? 200 meters to the edge of the cemetery.
Am I out of the church now, or is that
It's
my
about
first?
250 for you.
Okay. Yes, Shun will use his dash so that he can go 50 feet of movement, and yeah, he gets the fuck out of the church, and he, makes it to join the others as soon as he can.
To the center of the graveyard. Lotion,
I'm running after Shun.
running for the gravekeeper's hut.
Yeah.
Okay. Alacordia, you take a moment just to survey kind of what's going on around you while everyone else just goes huh! And they start just hoofing it.
Shun's
as
very
fast as they
shaken
can.
by the sarcophagus opening out of
And,
nowhere.
So, Alacordia, you then get to see as a single sarcophagus cracks, and you start to smell putrefaction and death and rotting coming from out.
And with that, sort of, she kind of looks at her hand with the glove on it and it's like, nope, 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 nope. And she starts booking it. Well, actually, once she gets to the gate of the graveyard, she'll kind of stop and how many sarcophagi are starting to open?
Well, you get about halfway to the graveyard. You two went first in initiative, so you get to decide if you want to do a thing before I tell you what happens.
If Lojan stopped, Shun would stop where he stops, but otherwise Shun keeps going.
I yell out at Shun, and I cry out, I ask to endure, share fairly your divine strength. Oh, wait, no, you already have a D4.
I have a D4.
Can you stack the ceremony D4 with a guidance D4?
I think you can stack if it's a different
One's a
thing.
cantrip, the other one's a ritual.
I think you can if it's different spells.
And I have to concentrate on the guidance. So,
Yep.
I'm running behind you. And I touch your shoulder and I cast guidance on you.
On your left. Overtakes. Good luck, buddy.
Alacordia, then you, again, because you're behind, you get to see what everyone else misses because they're just... There's a couple shovels laying around, and there's a freshly dug grave that never got filled. And you see, a pile of soil behind it. And coming out of that pile of soil, you see what looks to be maybe like a possum or some sort of small animal. And the reason you can't tell which small animal it is because much of its face is missing. Just this skeletal thing with flesh kind of dropping off of it and sloths, and it looks at you and it chatters. And as you can hear, the lids of the sarcophagus is kind of moving.
Nice animal. Nice possum. Don't want to eat me. Lotion!
Why aren't you running?
Roll animal handling for me.
Alacordia gains a new friend.
7.
It probably just has rabies.
It's probably okay.
There's movement going on from all over, and you can no longer attribute this to drunken madness. This is a thing that's happening all around you. The mist is getting parted as you hear the tops of sarcophaguses sliding off. What do you do?
Book it.
You guys thought I was a drunkard. I was right. Damn it, I was right.
I still think you're a drunkard.
How does someone bury that many people that aren't dead yet?
Take my inspiration.
I already have one.
Oh, do you? All right, give it back.
So I guess we just start booking it towards
Thank you,
this.
though.
Yeah, closer and closer. There's a fair amount of movement involved, so if you don't stop running at any point, you make it to the gravekeeper's hut as you keep seeing more and more things kind of emerging. It's not like punch through the stone and a hand comes out, but it's stuff like fingers slowly kind of reaching up as though they've been stiffened and tired for
Like
years
Michael Jackson's
of
Thriller.
unuse. Yeah. Michael Jackson's Thriller happens.
This is the musical episode.
You make it to the edge of the gravekeeper's hut. What do you do?
The edge of the hut?
It's dilapidated, doors closed, and it's kind of half run down.
I pound on the door. You said half run down? Is there any signs that there's someone, like any light coming from out? I guess it's daylight. Is there any signs of life?
It seems like it's been abandoned for years.
Boom! Kick it open.
Yeah, excellent. Give me an athletics check, please.
That was athletics?
Mhm.
That is a 7.
The door with its partially rotting wood.
Yes.
You kick the door frame.
Oh, cramp. Oh, hi.
the whole shack shudders a little and part of the roof collapses in.
And I look at Shun and I go, I am a man of the cloth and the book, not. I'll step aside. Shun, kick that door in.
Is there a window?
Yep.
How high?
Toss me in.
It's only like a shack, so literally
Okay.
high enough for you to stand in and with like the height of a regular roof. So like the whole of the shack. So the window is just normal window
Okay.
height.
Shun's gonna try going through the window because he's not very strong.
Yeah, I'd say, correct me if I'm wrong, jumping through a window, acrobatics.
That sounds about right.
And we're gonna put some pepper on it. Yeah. Roll lower than a 15. So much class.
You get 2.
Oh no,
2
we're
D4s.
good. No, I'm not using the other one yet.
Okay.
I'm saving that one if I need it.
Okay.
But that's 24.
You expertly through the window, make sure to cover your face and body parts with clothes so that you don't get all cut up by the old, semi-broken, kind of really dusty glass. And you land inside a hut. Parts have collapsed. However, part of the roof is not collapsed, and underneath there is a desk. Your initiative's over. Alacordia. And there's figures moving in the fog.
Yeah, so I guess she's just going to use dash and double it 60 feet, make it to the hut.
Great. As you get there, you pass the wrought iron gates. Make a perception check for me.
The Rod Iron Gate. That's the name of your chastity belt, isn't it? Rod's Iron Gate.
What's it in? Perception?
Yep.
10.
There is an old gate to this place. It's open.
An old gate? What do you mean?
Like it's an old wrought iron fence. There's a gate.
Oh. I'll just close it. You're like, wait a minute. And just like, clunk. And I guess with like the rope in her kit,
Yeah,
we'll, like,
sure.
rapidly try to tie something together.
Okay, you start attaching the rope together as we cut back to Lojan outside the hut.
I'm pounding on the door.
Yeah, like I would
Shun,
unlock the door when
open
I
the
get
door.
inside.
Door flies open. You see, again, the same dilapidated room, desk in the corner. The only part of the roof that hasn't collapsed, kind of. So this desk is intact.
A desk. I wonder if maybe they... What's in this desk? Are there drawers? May I inspect the desk?
There are drawers. You can do an investigation check, see if you find anything exciting.
17.
You open the drawers, nothing. But you open one drawer in such haste that you pull it out completely and carve.
Look how strong I am.
Well, because it's like old, right? Like, and carved into the bottom is the symbol of the kind of scales that you would weigh, precious metals with, like the hangy ones.
Scales. Clark knows what this means. Lojan. Okay. Check. Does Lojan recognize this symbol?
Give me some religion, baby.
9.
As the world moves increasingly closer to monotheism, your study of other heathen religions. This is a symbol that seems to have been lost to a bygone era. Certainly not one that's actively practiced, as far as you know.
Interesting. Maybe a jeweler worked here. Scales. Something seems significant or
Maybe
odd
they
about
did like
this.
a lot of witch hunts around here.
Oh no, what was that? More undead. Are they in the shack?
What do you mean undead?
You hear against the side of the shack that touches the wrought iron fence. Thuds against the side of the shed, and you hear
What do you want from me? You abominations.
Who are you talking to?
You don't hear the Does he not hear the undead? No, he wouldn't hear the voice, would he? No. There's a voice in my head. Just go with it.
You hear like
just go with it. It's normal.
you can hear the, but you can't hear the.
What do you want? What do you want with me? Lojan, with this straightens up, and he looks very determined. He goes, "I'll show you something funny," and he goes outside and he turns the corner to look at the side of the shack where the wall, where he heard the sound come from. What do I see?
The fog starts to clear and dissipate, and you can't tell if it's your mind playing tricks on you or if it's what you actually see. But for the briefest moment, you see a man with his eyes gouged out, fresh blood dripping down his face, and he looks at you and he tilts his head. And then you immediately are no longer able to see him as corpses slam themselves up against the gate, and at least 30 horrifying humanoid creatures with their parts of their faces kind of sloughing off and falling away start reaching through the gates at you.